What is this?
I'm scratching my back. It's really itchy.
What is this old man tool you've got going here?
It's the bear claw. It's the best back scratcher going.
That does look like it's a good time.
No, it's the. I've never had a better back scratcher in my life.
We'll talk
It's
about
better
this
than a
on the show.
person. It's better than a
talk
person.
about this on the show.
We are on the show. You can do a cold open.
All right. What's up, and welcome to the 346th episode of the Unranked Podcast. That's right.
Truncated.
To get truncated.
It's only two of us.
Well, but that doesn't mean it's shorter.
I mean, it would be because you don't have Tom spewing BS. You don't have extra time allotted to two other people talking about what they did for the week.
Mm-hmm.
I think just by the by, it's just a shorter ep just because you don't have.
I would say it's a more intimate episode because it's just.
It is a more intimate episode. It's more intimate, and it's between you, me, and the listeners.
Oh, hey. So sorry about 2 weeks in a row not going live for our Patreon supporters. I'm gonna figure something out to do like a bonus or something to make up for that.
Yeah, Chris is a terrible person.
Well, I'm terrible at streaming. I literally don't like. I haven't gotten it to work. I tried. I was on here for the last 45 minutes trying to get.
I can't talk. I'm not doing it.
It's why I don't stream. I hate it. I think it's filled with technical hurdles. There's no good one like stop shop. There's no good great solution. Even when Tom does it, and Tom does it all the time, there's so many times where like, oh, the sound isn't working. No one hears us for the first 15 minutes. It's like, and he's someone that does it on a very regular basis. Yep. So as me, someone who has not done it in a very long time, not good at it. So apologies for that. I'm going to have to get that figured out. But I have quite a bit more time to do that now.
Oh, do you want to get into that or do you want to get into the pokes?
Let's get into the Pokemon. We got plenty of stuff. I got plenty of stuff to talk about today. Pokemon 346.
All right, tell me what it is.
Cradily.
Cradily.
Cradily. Oh, actually, I should have shown my ass here.
Ooh.
Pokemon 346 is Cradily.
Cradily. Okay, so it's the evolved form of the Pokemon last week.
Yes.
So it's Lily, but what is the Cradily? Cradily. So Cradily? Is it Cradily or Cradily? Hello?
Cradily.
Okay, Cradily. Okay, so it's obviously Lily, but then the Crad. This isn't right, but Crawdad is what's coming to mind. So I'm gonna go with, but that doesn't make any sense. So with respect to how it looked last week, I think I'm gonna guess that it is just I
think it's Cradily. Sorry,
Cradily.
I read it wrong. Now it's definitely Cradily.
Okay, cray like crayon. So maybe it's crayfish
or cradle.
So it's like, or I was thinking cradle, but then I was like, yeah, are they really gonna have like a bassinet Pokemon? So I'm gonna go with a crayfish, and I'm gonna guess that it evolves more tentacles and maybe some pincers, and it has a pink face with yellow eyes.
And what's the body color?
Purple.
Okay, you got one color thing right.
Okay.
Two. So eyes are correct.
Oh.
The tentacles are pink. Body is green. Body is green. It appears that it is partially based on a fossil crinoids, also known as sea lilies. There's like it's a fossil Pokemon. So I mean that, of course, it's going to be based on a fossil.
Sure.
So I'm going to take something up with last week. So I listened to the podcast obviously after you did it last week because I missed
after we did it. I
missed the beginning.
Oh yeah.
So here's something I want to bring up to you. Keep this in mind. Your instinct that like the typing is off, I don't think is incorrect, like for that to be the first instinct.
What do you mean?
However, because there's no water typing in it.
It
It was
says
grass and rock.
it's literally called the sea.
I just said your instinct, the way you felt about it, was not wrong. That's what I opened with.
All right, yeah.
Yes, I don't know what you're arguing with yet. So far, all I've said is that you aren't wrong.
I'm like ready to argue. I'm ready.
But before you decide that you're just going to argue with whatever I say,
go ahead.
keep an open mind.
It also says there's tentacles, but go ahead.
To another opinion.
Hurry up.
Or way of looking at this.
We're supposed to be truncating this.
I knew this. I knew this. So when you said this is a truncated episode, I was like, he's now going to do everything he can to make sure it's shorter than normal. Otherwise, he's going to be wrong. I almost said it out loud because I was like, I feel like if I don't bring this up, he's going to just be rushing this in the back of his head to be like, see, quick, two people in and out.
Quick and easy. 2 people in and out. Let's go. Come on.
The Pokemon world would be very boring if anything that lives in the ocean had to be a water type. Just like how every Pokemon that flies or has wings doesn't have to be a flying type.
But it flies. So of course it's a flying type.
But it doesn't have to be. Because that would be lame. Like that would be very, very uninteresting, right?
You didn't have to make it rock. They could have made it grass water.
But it grows. It's like they're attached to rocks, right? Because this is based partially on like a sea anemone. So it's plant life. It like hides sometimes to look almost like rocks. They can blend in with the rocks in the ground. They're attached to the rocks. They just happen to be underwater. Like you could easily argue that like there's just as much reason for it to be grass and rock as water. But it's more interesting, I think, fundamentally for there to be a typing that sometimes it's like, oh, it's a water. It lives in the water, but it's not a water type Pokemon because it's just like more unique in that way. Is just how I feel about it. Just me. Just saying. I think it's something to keep in mind. I think it's interesting because everything otherwise that goes in the ocean has to be a water type Pokemon, which is like, I don't know, kind of boring.
If every Pokemon that had fire on it wasn't, I mean, wouldn't you say like, well, that has to be fire?
Well, I guess what I would say here is this Pokemon doesn't have water on it. It lives in the water.
That's even worse.
It's not because grass is more powerful than water, right? Water's weak to grass, and this is its primary typing is grass. Its secondary typing is rock, which is one is weak, one is stronger than water, one is weaker than water. So now you have balance with the ocean.
Oh my, okay. Just
a perspective, because I just think it makes the universe a lot more interesting that there are some, because most of them aren't. Most Pokemon that are in the water in the Pokemon world are water type, but there are some that aren't. And I just think that's like, okay, that is like fundamentally like gives it a unique property compared to other Pokemon. Just like there are bird type Pokemon, they're flying things that are in the games that don't have flying type. Like Charizard is a flying type, right? But we all think he should be a fucking dragon type. Like he should probably be a fire dragon type, not a fire flying type.
He can fly, so you got to put him in the flying.
But he's a fucking dragon. He can breathe fire.
What are the birds what's like a bird that can't fly? Like a penguin?
Yeah,
so,
I guess.
Is a penguin a bird?
Yes.
It is, right?
Yes.
So yeah, but it can't fly. So
right.
Should we be even calling it a bird? All right, anyway.
What's the name origin here?
Yeah, the name origin, it's actually pretty long for an entry. It's may be a combination of Cradle and Lily, or Crinoid, Crag, and Crazily.
Yeah, they're not the best.
No,
not the best. Again, we've said it. We'll say it again. Worst generation.
Yeah, not great.
So what's that hat?
It is Kerber's Farm, established 1941. It's a great farm on Long Island in Huntington that we go to that has, I would argue, the best breakfast sandwich I've ever had.
Oh,
it's on a cheddar biscuit.
Okay,
it is fantastic.
All right.
I think the cheddar biscuit just makes it.
Yeah.
And the way they
what's on the sandwich?
Could be anything you want. You can put anything you want on this thing.
Well, what do you get?
I always get egg over easy, sausage, avocado,
Yeah.
cheese. I like to put my own ketchup on. I don't
Okay.
like them to put it on it for me.
Correct. I agree with
And
that.
I also don't like them to salt. Because I feel like if I ask for salt, they salt everything, and everything's just a little too salty. And that's it.
Okay.
But that cheddar biscuit, and the way they assemble this thing, it's like perfect. Like
What do you mean by biscuit? Is it like a muffin?
It's a biscuit.
Okay, so it's like a crumbly biscuit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just because the biscuits can come in all different forms, so I was
We're
trying to
not
figure
the
out.
UK, not the
No, I know,
UK
not a cookie.
idea. Right.
Yeah, I'm not pulling a Taskmaster
Paul
UKism on
Hollywood.
you. I just do those for Tom,
yeah.
because he gets mad.
Right. No, I'm not doing a biscuit UK version of a biscuit. No.
Yeah, you got. Yeah, it's a Chips Ahoy on the top and
Right.
Oreo on the bottom.
Right.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I had a similar breakfast sandwich this morning. There's a breakfast place we went to like recently.
Mhm.
It's like right nearby. I don't know why we never went, and now I love it. It's really good. It's called Muffin Can Stop Us, and they
nice.
make their own like English muffins. They're
Mhm.
really good English muffins. Like they're much thicker than like your Thomas's English muffin, and they're
Sure.
like soft, but they have like a really perfectly like sort of toasted outside, so it's crispy on the top and on the bottom of it, so you get a good texture. I do the Impossible sausage patty. It's
Of
got
course, yep.
a good egg on it,
Mhm.
avocado, and then
Mhm.
there's like an aioli. Oh, and cheddar cheese.
Cheddar cheese.
Yeah, I get the aioli on the side because I prefer to be able to dip it. I do the same thing. I don't want it on top because I don't want people go nuts with sauces,
Oh my god.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could probably write a comedic bit about sauces and how they're on everything.
They I didn't realize they did this. I just thought you could order it on the side. They have really good like crispy hash browns.
Mhm.
And then today, because I ordered it instead of going there, I noticed as an add-on to the sandwich. So they put the crispy hash brown on the sandwich today. That was very good.
I had a I see here. Okay. So if I get a breakfast sandwich, my usual go-to, if it's not this place, if it's not Kerber's, my usual is a bagel as the top and
Sure.
as
Sure.
the carb of choice. Now, if a place offers hash browns on a breakfast sandwich, I have to inquire. Is it the crispy hash brown patty that you've fried up? Or are we talking the quartered potato with the onions and peppers? Because the
Yeah.
latter will not be featured on my breakfast sandwich. It's got to be my breakfast sandwich cannot be this slop. It's got to be everything's got to be nicely layered and nicely fit together in this
You could do
bagel
that in a
sandwich.
burrito. You can't do that on a bagel.
Yeah, but people do it on the bit, or people do it on
Yeah.
the sandwich. That whenever I say hash browns, I always got to ask: are we talking the patty? Oh, and actually, here's another thing with the sausage. If I'm gonna get sausage on my breakfast sandwich, I always have to ask: are we talking sausage patty, or are we talking you cut up a circular sausage and you split it in half and you're putting it on the sandwich? If it's the latter, ain't going on my breakfast sandwich. I'll tell you that right now. No way.
I agree.
No way.
Totally agree. Yeah, this is both the patty for both the brown.
Gotta go with the patties
and the sauce.
Gotta go with the patties.
Yeah,
that's it.
Good breakfast.
Yeah,
it is. It's great. Great set. It's all you need. You don't need. I mean, you could. I'm sure you could add bacon. You have bacon on yours or no? You skip it because you've already got the sausage.
I'm not I'm actually a bigger fan of like Canadian bacon on a breakfast sandwich than I am of regular bacon on a breakfast sandwich.
Wow, I feel like that's going to be a controversial take. Are you not a big bacon guy?
Not a huge bacon person, no.
Wow.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's just not my go-to on a breakfast sandwich or on any kind of topping on a burger or anything like that.
All right, so Tuna, it must be asked. You slimming down? What's going on over there?
No. Does it look like I'm slimming down?
Is it just that you shaved? I've been trying to figure out, is it just because he shaved or is he slimming down?
No, it's got to be that I've shaved. I am not slimming down. I am not slimming down. I tried, but I'm off the wagon again.
Okay.
So
I'm about to get
We
back on the wagon.
we tried. I stuck it out a little bit longer than Britt. I was working out like every other day.
At the gym or just at home or
No, here at home.
yeah,
And it was going strong, and then there's a
life.
bakery near us. Just the laziness took
Hmm.
over. The desserts took I found this box of 6 black and white cookies
Oh yeah, tell me about it,
for
fat boy.
$6.99. They were 6 big black and white cookies for $6.99. They were Brooklyn. Honestly, the brand I think had Brooklyn in the name, and we were surprised on how moist. I know people don't like that word, but moist and like delicious
Do you think it
for
bothers
six
people when
ninety
they're talking
nine.
about food? I feel like in
Yeah,
context it. Oh, really?
no, because I said it at work one time, like, "Oh, this cake is moist," and people were like, "Oh my god."
I think that's people who aren't funny and they know that like memes are funny, and so they just
Maybe,
like play it up
but
because
these
it's
are.
the
I
only
mean, I
way.
work with a lot of older people. I don't know if they're looking at memes.
Yeah, they are. They're on Facebook probably.
Oh,
So they're
that's
just
right.
getting
Yeah, I
like the
forgot.
worst memes and the worst humor.
Yeah,
I tell you, one of the wildest things you could do is,
yeah.
well, first of all, I guess what I would say is if you're not a very funny person, you're trying to be funny on the internet, you should just go start putting your videos on Facebook because you have no competition. Like you will
Okay.
thrive there. That's the first thing I would say. But number two
Uh-huh.
is go fuck it. Facebook has Facebook live videos, which are like Instagram stories are just a much worse TikTok.
Hmm.
Facebook videos are a much worse Instagram story. Other than like, the people that like just share their stories on both, but like the
Hmm.
like random user content that you see, it's just
Hmm.
all of it is so unfunny and so deplorably bad. But it's all focused at like the boomers, right? It's all focused at
Sure.
like older Gen X people that like, you know, their level of internet humor kind of stagnated like over a decade ago. It is deeply unfunny. I will sometimes get high and then browse it and just laugh at how bad it is and then go in the comments. I like to like sort of like hate scroll on the Facebook videos.
So I have taken a couple uh random days of no social media whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy it,
Sure.
right? It is kind of weird to not go on Reddit or to not go on Instagram. And I do have an exception to anything that you guys or any other friends send me. I will look at it so that I'm like in the know.
Well, sometimes you get a lot of stuff sent to you.
Yeah, but if I want to like view it, I'm not going
Sure.
to say like, oh, I'm taking a break from social media. I cannot be bothered to look at this
Sure.
tweet.
Sure. Sure.
Um, but it has, you know what it is, you know what it's really done wonders for?
What?
Uh, watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just so easy now to look at your phone really quick if you want to, like, even if like I want to look like I remember I was watching House of the Dragon the other week and I wanted to look something up and I did, and then I ended up like reading something and I'm like, fuck, like pause the show,
Yeah. Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah.
But like when I'm off my phone, like I put my phone on the other side of the room and I'm like, I'm not gonna look at it
That's pretty good.
at all. It's pretty. I want Brit to do it, but
I
she won't fucking do it.
I still, from time to time, every now and then on weekends, I just deactivate my Twitter. I just don't post on
Mm.
it much anymore. I tweet like an average of like maybe twice a week at most now.
Well, we know someone
I
who
just don't care.
tweets all the time.
Tom's tweet store, Tom tweet store Caswell is,
I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I've never
yeah,
seen somebody tweet as much as that guy
it's just
in my circle of
stream of
friends.
consciousness, baby.
Yeah, just like ding. Write that down. Ding.
He'll be like, oh, just had an idea for a tweet. He writes that, then he writes the tweet after that.
Right. It's
No,
unbelievable.
just kidding.
No, we're not kidding. Chris might be, but I'm not.
I love his Twitter, partially because whenever I see him post something, I'm like, oh, Alex might be like, what the fuck is he posting? Why is he?
But the thing is,
no one
like,
cares about this.
I don't look at his Twitter every day. So like, all of a sudden I'll go on Twitter every couple days, maybe, like, not, and then I'll look at it and it is like a long list of Tom shit. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man, what's going on? Catch up. No wonder he's got like 900 messages he hasn't read. He's too busy on Twitter tweeting about his own shit. So it is it's our anniversary, Brit and me, tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Or I guess today, if you're listening to this on the day it comes out. Or maybe not, because Chris might release it tonight. So fuck it.
Well, for the Patreon people, I'm gonna put it up
Yeah.
early just because
10/21, 5 years, baby. 5 years.
wow,
5 years.
5 years.
5 years end of baby.
Wow. So Teresa and I had
So-
only been together for like a year then at that point.
You had only been together for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
That's wild.
And I think, was Tom with Brooke? I don't know. If he was, it was very new.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he was, it was very new.
I think he mentioned something about them coming up on 5 years. Or maybe that's why they're away right now. I don't know.
Could be.
It could be. It could be why they went on vacation.
Yeah.
He's got to lock that down soon. I'm just
Does he?
saying, as someone they've been together only about a year less than Teresa and I.
But I feel like, do they want to? No, let's not speculate. So
What? Let's not speculate. Let's speculate. That way Tom and Brooke can listen to this and he's going to be like, well, I can't ever let Brooke listen to this. Can't get any ideas in her head.
Yeah, can't get any ideas. Where do you think where do you think they would get married if they got married? Like, do you think they would have a destination, or do you think it would just be like in Brooklyn, or
No, I think it would be in Philadelphia, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Might be in Philly because his family is there. Could be in New York. It would be in New York or Philly. I don't know how much extended family either of them has. That could be a big part of that. Teresa and I still don't know what we're gonna do. We keep bouncing back to this idea of just picking where we want our honeymoon to be and just going there and eloping. So
There you go.
That's also a very real possibility. The other day we were like, all right, like pretty soon we should just decide what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we have another friend who got engaged around the same time you did, and he's getting married in 16 days. So,
wow, that's really fast turnaround.
Very fast.
Are they doing like a big wedding? What are they doing?
It's in Jersey.
Yeah,
it's at the Liberty House. Actually, I probably shouldn't be giving this much information out, but it's gonna be a banger. Can't wait. Pretty excited.
That's a really fast turnaround.
Fast, baby. Got to get it done.
Yeah. Wow. Someone wants to have a baby.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Get her done.
Oh my God.
So I have been playing, and I can talk about it, Mario plus Rabbids, the new one.
Yeah. Should we jump into games, or?
I mean, did you want to talk more about shit?
Oh, I had some off-topic news.
Oh, but yeah, but I feel like we just mesh everything together now. But yeah,
we can do it in news.
Do you want to?
It's definitely part of the news.
Do you want to do it in news though?
Yeah, because I did a whole rant about not wanting to be in the news a month ago, and now I'm in the news. So we'll do it in news. We'll do Mario Rabbids because I'm also playing Mario Rabbids. I was playing it until about 5, and then I was like, fuck, I got to make sure I can like get this stream going. And Tom gave me this video to like walk me through, and it just was not working. So I just,
all right, fuck it. So Mario plus Rabbids is, I think, exactly what I wanted from a sequel. Nothing is like drastically different from the previous game, but they've built on stuff from the prior game.
It's everything you want out of a sequel, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I really enjoy it.
It's a better game. Everything about it is better. Like the first one almost feels like the first one was cool. It was great, but it didn't. I don't think it like wowed me as much as I was like, oh, this is a cool thing they did. Whereas this one feels like a really substantial game in a different way. It's like weirdly getting rid of the grid somehow makes it.
It's so funny when Tom was like, oh, they're getting rid of the grid. I was thinking to myself like, oh man, like really? How is that going to work? Like, is that going to be good? It's fantastic.
It's great.
It's great.
It's a lot
and there's
better.
So many, I feel like I'm doing a lot more strategic moves in this one than I was in the other one.
Yes.
Because I don't remember. Could you team jump in the other one?
Yeah, I don't remember. I haven't played in such a long time.
They were definitely
team. They were definitely team. I don't know. I feel like there might have been a thing where like one character threw another. I think that might have been a thing because because there were only certain
Oh,
ways you could like throw people over obstacles.
Yeah, okay. There are puzzles in this game. You're
Yeah.
not going to break your brain
No.
figuring them out, but the fun factor in this game is very high.
Oh, the fun
And
factor.
it is a lot of fun factor. Buzzwords.
That I think that was like one of the like original IGN like scoring criteria. I think one of them was like fun factor.
It's buzzwords, Chris. Buzzwords, right?
Yeah, from like 1998.
I'm still living in 1998.
Yeah, that's true.
I wish my life was still in I wish I was back in 1998.
Oh, the air was
1998
cleaner.
things were great.
There were
Things
50% more
great.
animals than there are now.
There were
The dollar was worth like $5 today.
Melee was on the horizon.
Gas was like under $1.
We had Ocarina of Time. We had fucking Majora's Mask. We had Sonic Adventure 2.
This is why old people are so nostalgic for the past, because humans just continue to make the world worse. So it's just everyone always remembers things being better.
I mean, look, 1998. I would say 1998. No, I would say from the time that Pokemon came out to, I guess, when we stopped playing Melee, those are great years right in there.
Yeah.
Right in there were fantastic years.
Yeah. So like 98 to 2003.
Yeah. Yeah, around there.
Yeah.
Around there.
Yeah. It's like from 10 to 15.
For us.
10 to 15 was great.
But for us selfishly.
Yeah.
Just for us, because things going on at the time in the world, not great.
Well,
in some areas.
I mean, that's every period of time.
Right, but we've hit there's a year in there that we've hit that really. So
I don't know. What are you talking about? 2001?
I mean, I'm not. I mean,
we're still there's still fucking like 9/11s of deaths happening like on the daily these days. Like, come on.
Yeah, but that was like my first.
Oh yeah, baby's first tragedy. I know.
Baby's first tragedy. Anyway, what were we talking about? Okay, so the fun factor on Mario plus Rabbids, fantastic. Love it. Think it's great. Pick it up. Play it. And the best part about it, like I've said a million times in this podcast, the best part about it is that it's on the Switch. I know you can stream Xbox. I get it.
Yeah.
Right. But the Switch for me is just such like a grab and go, boom, upstairs, hanging out, playing my Mario plus Rabbids while the baby is watching Miss Rachel on YouTube.
Nice.
So
nice.
The baby's being Miss Rachel for Halloween.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Ridiculous.
That's pretty awesome.
I will admit, I think Miss Rachel has taught her a bunch of words.
That's great.
And she like mimics like the wheels on the bus, like open and shut. She'll open her arms and shut her arms.
That's pretty good.
We're going up and down. She'll put her arms up, put her arms down. It's really weird. She will not say mama or dada still.
She's just like Alex.
Yeah, right. But she'll say like she can say cat, hat, head, bed. It's like, and then if I ask her, if I say, hey, do you want to read a book? She will look at where the books are, point at the books, and then get upset if I'm not if I have to say like around Brit, I have to be like the B word, because if she hears books, she gets like excited.
You should just call it literature.
I know. Well, that's not bad. Should we read her the literature?
Why'd you go English?
I don't know. But she starts whining. So I pick her up because the books are higher.
Yeah.
So I pick her up and she will literally pick the book she wants.
That's awesome.
I'll grab Chicka Chicka Boom Boom.
Does she recognize them, you believe, and purposefully grabbing them? Yes. Or do you think oh wow, that's great.
It is, because if I will say, do you want to read Chicka Chicka Boom Boom? Yeah. And she'll look at Chicka Chicka Boom Boom.
Oh, that's awesome.
If I say, do you want to read Good Night Moon? She'll look at it.
Classic.
And then I'll take it off the shelf and give it to her, and she will push it away if she doesn't want it. Or if I'll grab another book and I'll be like, okay, you want to read The Very Hungry Caterpillar? She'll grab the book and hold on to it.
That's pretty good.
So then I will read it to her.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Little genius on the hands.
Little genius that won't.
Took her a little while to walk, but she knows how to. She's gonna read real soon.
She's walking but she still won't say mama or dada. So fuck us.
Yeah. One day you're gonna wake up. She's just gonna be like, she'll like climbed out of the crib, and she'll just be standing next to you like in bed, and she's just gonna go, Alex, wake up.
Yeah.
Read me a story. It'll
Mm-hmm.
be like Angelica's dream with the giant baby on Rugrats. One of the
Yeah,
scariest things ever made in a cartoon.
sure. Yeah, I know. I don't know why she won't say it, but she won't say it.
Oh, it'll happen. Don't worry.
It's like the
Or
last
she'll just
thing
be
right
like,
now.
"Father,
Right.
Father,
Oh, and
read me another one."
she actually like loves to dance. Here, let me
Okay.
I'll send you a quick vid
All
while we're
right.
talking.
Well,
But
let's see. Is she a better dancer than a rabbit?
maybe it's possible. No, she probably is a rabid dancer. See? I'll send this one to you.
This is fun for the listeners and the viewers because they
And the
can't see
viewers.
this.
This is
Yeah.
great. It's us looking at our phones.
Yeah.
Isn't that fantastic?
TV's too high, man.
Oh my god. This isn't the TV she's supposed to be watching.
That's awesome. That's great.
This is not
That's
the
really
TV
good.
she's supposed to be watching.
She has
So,
another TV to watch.
she's got her playroom.
Oh,
Oh,
I
you
didn't-
weren't here.
I
That
haven't seen
room,
the playroom.
yeah, that room's been turned into a playroom now.
I remember you had like some mats down and stuff in there, but it wasn't.
Oh, no. It is
You got a
now
whole
a
situation
full,
now.
it's a whole situation. I can't
I
believe
see.
I haven't shown you this.
Didn't know.
It's all right,
No
well,
idea.
I gotta find a picture. of it.
It'll come time.
Yeah. What else you got?
I mean, let's go back to Rabbids really quick because I'm
Oh,
really
okay, yeah, talk to me.
all right. So first thing, controversial take. You ready?
Uh-oh.
Number one, the voice actor for the Mario Rabbit is better than Chris Pratt.
Yes.
like,
Agreed.
bro, I heard him and I was like, that's a better Mario voice than fucking Chris Pratt.
Yes. I agree.
The voice actor for Luigi is, I think, my favorite. He's pretty funny.
I
It's
like the
sorta
Rabbid
weird.
Luigi one, but yeah, go on.
Rabbid Luigi, but I think one of my favorite characters has to be and I'm waiting, like I want to. You haven't beaten this game, right? You're not like close yet.
No.
Okay, all right. I don't think I'm close either. I'm probably like 30% into the game would be my guess.
I haven't even left the first level because I wanted to complete the whole thing before I left.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. Well, I wonder. All right, let's take a guess, Alex.
Yeah.
How long to beat? How long do you think?
I know how long it is.
Oh, all
I
right. Well,
know.
you know, so then I don't need to look it up. I'm gonna
Go ahead.
guess 8 hours.
I heard 30.
What the fuck?
Maybe I'm wrong. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that might be real. Are you talking about like completion?
I think so.
8 was a little low. I should have guessed I higher, but I thought
Yeah.
maybe like it could be one of those things like, well, if you just ignore all the side shit, it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
That is a full ass game, which I have to say I'm actually it shouldn't make a difference, but the free roaming makes it just feel like a more robust world. Like the stages also feel less like diorama at times, just I think because of the way you can move around.
Yeah.
So it will keep my interest more, because I will say the first game I did feel like I was starting to towards the end of it, I was just kind of like ready to finish it as much as I enjoyed the game.
Sure.
This one, it just feels more complete. There's nothing
Mhm.
listed here yet. There's no time listed yet, which makes sense. It did just release.
I don't know why I thought I heard 30, but now you're making me think that I made that up, which is possible.
20 hours is what Game Rant said.
Oh.
To get through all the main story missions. So 30 maybe to complete it, like to get everything what might be appropriate. So you haven't met Edge yet then, right? Have you?
No. Wait.
Oh.
Edge? The one, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I don't know. I wasn't sure.
You're good. Edge. Yep.
Edge might be like my favorite character. Edge is pretty awesome. And I'm assuming this is going to pop up in the story, but Edge is Rabid Bowser, right?
I didn't even. That's good.
Like it's got like the teeth are different. They're like sharp. And it's,
Yeah.
like the hair like is like really similar to Bowser, like the eyebrows and shit.
Yeah. I didn't put that together, but I trust you.
Because it's got to be like you have all these playable characters. Everyone has a Rabid form. There's no Rabid Bowser. So I feel like it has to be Edge.
That's good. I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the theory.
I would like whatever the next Super Smash game is, or if
Mhm.
they just fucking, oh God, Nintendo, just do it. Just don't make a whole new ass system. Just give us a Switch 2. Everything carries forward. It's just better
Yeah.
hardware.
Yeah.
And then just be like, you know what? We're just gonna keep adding more characters to Smash Ultimate. Just do that. Give me. I want a Rabbid. I want one of these. I want one of these guys in
They
Smash.
should be in there.
I think they should be in there. There's some good
Yeah.
items in there for Smash, I think, too. But yeah, that would be really cool. I would like to know what characters Nintendo owns. And here's why I'm saying this. There was a really awesome game. You've played it, I believe. Mario RPG, Super Nintendo.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Amazing. Two of the
course.
like fan favorite characters, Mallow and Gino, are not owned by Nintendo because it was
How is
made
that
by
possible?
Square.
Oh, right.
And this is another game that's not made by Nintendo. It's made by Ubisoft. And I'm just like, oh, like these new enemies that are in this game, like these new characters that are being introduced. Who gets these rights?
Right. Well, wait, hold on. Because, I mean, they don't own Banjo, but they got Banjo in there.
Are you talking about Smash?
Yeah, isn't that what you're talking
Oh,
about?
no. I'm saying like in general. Like in general. There's a separate thought now.
Oh.
There's a separate thought. Just
I
because
don't
the
think they
reason
probably
why
don't
we've
own-
never
they
really
probably-
seen them is
They
because of
probably
that.
don't, but isn't this interesting though? Because if
Because it is
because
Mario and Rabbids too.
I
so
know
it's-
because the Rabbid is a combination of maybe could they own it?
No,
jointly?
I bet the way the Rabbids work is, of course, Ubisoft has the rights to the Rabbids, but they can't use like Rabbid Mario unless it's like a joint thing with Nintendo, would be my guess.
Mhm.
Is like they can't use any kind of Mario likeness.
Mhm.
So but like what about like a character? So like Edge could never be like a Nintendo character because it's a Rabbid. But what about like the new enemies? Like who owns these like
Yeah.
characters? Are these characters that we could see? Because I like some of these new, like some of the enemies and stuff that are in the game that aren't necessarily Rabbids. Like I like the design of them. It reminds me of some of like the designs in like Super Mario Sunshine. And
Yeah.
like the big flying like kind of like space manta rays are like really cool. And I'm just like, oh, like is this a Nintendo owned thing now, or is this an Ubisoft owned thing? Like, will I ever get to see this again, or is this just like a one and done because Ubisoft's got it, and then when this partnership ends, we'll never see it again. So it's just part of me while I'm playing this is like, I wish Nintendo would have a new they need a new studio, I think, and they need to develop like more of these like side games internally so that they can own these character ideas. Because I like that they're allowing other companies to use their properties now because we are getting new concepts out of it. But like, it sucks if like, oh, it became really popular, but then like it becomes a financial disagreement between the companies and then that's all out the window. So I just, while I'm playing this, I'm just like, oh, I hope this does well and we get another one, or like, someone buys Ubisoft, like, well, Sony buys Ubisoft or Microsoft, like, then that's it. No more Mario Rabbids ever get like, kind of blows. So I'm just, it's like, I'm like weirdly nervous about that, partially because I like it so much, because I'm enjoying the story and the cinematics in the game. Mario stuff, it's so trivial. Like, it doesn't matter what the story is. So like, however weird it is. Right. But I sort of enjoy it, I think, more because it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because
that's
it's like a
kind
cartoon.
of why I like Mario games, because I'm not that invested in the story. I can pick it up and play whenever I want. I don't need to remember what happened 30
it doesn't have to make
ago,
any sense. They can do anything.
Yeah, I don't need to remember things. I could just pick it up, play a couple levels, put it down, pick it up again, play a couple levels, put it down, and have some semblance, very minimal story in my mind that I need to know, for each playthrough. But
yeah,
or playtime.
Yeah,
playtime is over.
So yeah, that's just
that's
concern I have. Edge is like my favorite character. I like, in order of characters. Oh, by the way, Rabbid Peach, I think, is also like one of my Rabbid Peach.
Peach I use all the time.
Mario's good, but he's
Mario. Fuck Mario.
He's just like the standard.
My usual team.
Okay.
Is Rabbid, Peach, No, 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 no. Regular Peach.
Okay, you like regular Peach more.
Regular Peach. My
Okay.
usual team is regular Peach, Rabid Luigi, Rabid Mario. That's my trio.
So not fuck Mario.
Fuck regular Mario.
Oh, you said Rabid Mario.
Rabid Mario.
Okay. So the only OG you have
Is Peach.
is Peach. Okay.
Yeah, I liked Edge, but I just really like what Rabid Luigi and Rabid Mario do. And I guess Rabid Peach and Rabid and regular Peach could be used interchangeably because either
Yeah.
one is a protector, one is a healer. You kind of get the same thing. Regular Luigi is great, but I would never put him into a fight. I'd always keep him back. So I was like, you know what? I'm more of a brawler kind of a person. I like to get right up in their faces. So that's why I'm Rabid Luigi and Rabid Mario.
I'd like to only have like one character that does that.
No, I'm all up in everybody's
Yeah.
shit.
I go for a little bit more balance, but that's why but I like Edge for that. I think Edge is really good. And I really like Rabid Peach.
Oh, but I guess we should say that it also takes place in the it's not the Mario Galaxy universe per se that the levels are,
but
like,
it's influenced
work
by it
on
because
gravity,
like
but
the
it's influenced
sparks
by.
are just the
So you
fucking
have like
what are
right,
they
you have
called?
this what are they called?
I want to call them like lumens or something.
No,
Like
Lumas. So the Lumas have
Lumas.
been infected by Rabbids or whatever, merged with Rabbids. Now they're called Sparks, and you assign a spark to each player that you or character that you have, and each spark has a certain ability that you can give to any player. So and you can change them. So one is like a spark, electrical spark ability. So you can dash into someone and electrically charge them, or you'll splash them with water, or drown them with water, or you'll burn them with fire, or what have you. So it's a different ability. So it kind of like lets you play. It lets you give an ability to any character you want that isn't necessarily assigned to a specific character and only allowed to be used by one character. So
That's pretty good though.
yeah, that was a roundabout way of saying that each character has their own moveset, but the spark allows you to give them any moveset you want.
Yeah.
After a little while.
I mean, it basically gives you versatility. So it's like, okay, typically this is what you're playing with, but if in certain instances, if you need to change it up, they allow you to do that, which does. It's just it's a better game than the first one. The first one I think was like it was a good game.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoyed it when I first started it, and then by the end of it, I was just ready to be done. This one, I think I'm going to be very happy with it the whole time. I've gotten so used to playing on my Steam Deck that I've actually been playing this handheld. I will say, and it's such a small difference. I think it's only like a 7 versus a 6-inch screen. I've gotten so fucking used to the screen on my Steam Deck. To be fair, I'm using, are you have an original Switch like me, or did you ever have to upgrade? I can't remember.
I have an original, the OG.
Okay. So our Switches are getting old, right? Like
yes, they are.
When we get to this spring, we're both gonna have 6-year-old handheld Switches.
Right.
Like that's, we haven't had any of the updates to battery or to screen or any of that nonsense. So while playing a handheld, I mean, I will say it feels even more like a toy than ever because I'm so used to like the heftiness and the much better ergonomics and controls of the Steam Deck. But boy, that extra inch on the screen makes it's a lot. You wouldn't think it is. It's like, well, a 6-inch screen, 7-inch screen.
Which one's bigger?
On the Steam Deck, it's bigger by an inch. I believe the OLED Switch has the same size screen though, because it is bigger on the OLED Switch. But I don't want to update it. So they put out.
No, I'm not updating my Switch. Nope. Not doing it.
I've also been playing another game.
What game is this?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I barely played it. I played a bunch during the beta, but it just came out today. So I played a little bit. Something is up. I think there's like the campaign is the. I forgot to check. The campaign is out, but it's like an open beta or something weird. Basically, it's like not done.
What?
I know. It is really weird. Yeah, so it
Okay.
comes out next week. I wanted to double check. But if you pre-ordered it like I did, like you can play it early. So I'm gonna play through the campaign, I think, this weekend and like tonight and tomorrow. I think that would be I'm like it. I haven't played an FPS campaign in a year, right? Since
Sure.
well, that's not true. I actually did replay like all of Deathloop. Um, so that's not totally true, but it's a very different kind of first person shooter. So I'm very
Right.
excited to do that. And I'm gonna play some of the multiplayer, but I'm excited for Tom to get back because I want to play multiplayer with Tom. Because that is, I think, a game that is really fun when I have people that I'm playing with. It's not something I'm as driven to play solo, but I've
Right.
just been itching to
Itching.
blast, itching to blast.
Okay.
So, let's see. So here's the thing. I want to
Yeah.
talk about the mole briefly because tomorrow it's out.
It is out tomorrow.
What I think, what I think we should do,
Okay.
because I also don't want to put this in the like post show as a spoiler thing, because the odds that people are really watching the mole are not super high, you
Right.
know. So I don't want it to be useless. I think we should just fucking talk about whatever during the post show today. Make it a little bit
Okay.
more interesting. I think we're gonna talk about the mole, and we're gonna do it for exactly 8 minutes. I don't want to give it 10, but I think honestly,
I think
just
even 8
explaining,
is a lot.
I think just going through the entire day that I spent rewatching the whole season and
Okay.
some of the things that I picked up on is going to take enough time that like I don't want to bogart all the time. I want us to be able to have a discussion, but that's going to take me at least 3 minutes. So that way I'm giving us like 5 to have a discussion.
Go for it.
So because time codes and whatnot, there's no way I can predict, hey, this is at minute whatever during the recording while I'm saying it out loud. So skip forward 5 minutes starting now. That was 8 minutes. Sorry. Here we go. We're off to a great start. All right. So Alex, let's just kick it off. Who is the mole?
So the mole is Kazi. 100%.
Yeah.
And I don't even think we need to discuss anything further.
I want to discuss the season.
Yeah. So, all right. So the mole premiered back, what, 2002, 2001?
2000. It came out the same year
Came out the
as
same year as
Survivor.
Survivor. Holy shit.
It's a proto reality. It really was ahead of its time.
Way ahead of its time. So the mole is a show where a group of contestants are completing tasks assigned to them by the producers of the show to win money for the pot that only one of them eventually will win, all while one person in their ranks is trying to sabotage them along the way, who is paid, I'm assuming, paid by the producers. I'm not really sure how much, but is paid by the producers to sabotage as much as possible.
We were talking about that. We are like, how much do you think it is? We both guessed around the same amount.
Preventing the group from earning, the top potential. And it happens anyway. I mean, people fuck up missions anyway, and they don't win an astronomical amount of money, and especially this season compared to when it came out in 2000.
The finale's got to have a big pot prize. It's gotta.
So every week there's either 2 or possibly 3 missions that they have to complete, and during those missions they are usually split up, and the mission goes as planned or doesn't, and then at the end
it's themed kind of like a spy show, just so people know. It's not like Survivor where they're just stranded somewhere.
Right. And then at the end of the particular segment, they all take a quiz on who is the mole, and then the person who answers the least number of questions correctly is eliminated, and that goes on until we have a winner who knows who the mole is and answered the most questions on the final quiz correctly on who is the mole. This season we have got a very eclectic cast of characters.
I think it's a really good casting.
It's a good season. It's good casting. I think the mole is Kazi, and I think she's done a good job at being the mole. I also think
she's
there
done
are
a very good job.
I think
she's done a very good job.
Yeah, and I think there are a lot of people in the group who are either just dumb, are really bad, or are purposefully sabotaging missions so that they get labeled as the mole, so that when people take the quiz, they think it's them and they get more answers incorrect than.
I also think there's someone in the group who we thought was the dumbest person on the show, and we're worried could be the mole because we're like, she's either the mole or she's the dumbest motherfucker in the show that's ever been on the show, and that's Joy. And now I'm starting to wonder if she was just playing fucking stupid for a long time.
Maybe.
Because how is she still on the show?
Right. How is she still on the show is the question.
And that's from our outsider perspective, by the way. On the show, like doing it is probably way harder.
Way harder. I think that personally, I think that she has earned so many votes against her, or so many questions answered thrown her way, that she survived because of that. And the people who are there with her right now, well, one is the mole, and the other three are people who I think didn't suspect her from the start and still don't. And I think they're the ones.
She got someone eliminated on the previous episode, man, and that was wild. Like when you get down to the last like 5-6 people, everyone that's left has like a 50-50 of who it is.
Yeah.
And when she was like, I'm fucking calling you out, Jacob, you're the mole, and then Greg fell for it and got eliminated.
Yep.
Like a fucking idiot.
So my theory, I had Kazi pegged from episode 1, but I had a tinfoil hat theory. All my theory was the font for the show was strangely orange. And the first
it wasn't. I think your TV was fucked up because I rewatched it. It's not. It's like it's a reddish orange that they use.
It's more orange than any other font I've seen.
It's all the same. I put them next to each other. I took a screen grab to check. I sent you those pictures.
It's orange.
I sent you the pictures. It's red, and she's wearing like yellow.
Well, whatever. Then coincidentally,
you might be colorblind.
The font for me was orange, and she was wearing an orange shirt. So I was like, "Oh, it's her. This is it. It's her. It's definitely her."
Because just Jacob had a fucking red shirt on. You're like, no,
it's
not.
He did, but this is gonna sound terrible, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I thought to myself, there is no way they're making the mole another generic white dude. There is no way they were going to make the mole another generic white dude.
So I hear what you're saying there, but the first mole was also a woman too.
White woman.
Yeah,
Second mole was an old white dude. I just didn't think they were going to make. I know that it's not the same producers, but I just feel like it's still legacy.
Yeah.
So I just felt like they were not going to make the mole a white dude.
But they picked also still like a young-ish, attractive woman to be the mole again for the first time. Like,
100%.
So like at the same time, they also kind of did the same thing. She just happens to not be a white person, but otherwise, but she's like young, attractive, smart, like the same attributes.
Yes, but I also realized that Jacob was wearing what I thought was orange, but who knows now?
Yeah, he's definitely not wearing orange.
And I was like, but would it be Jacob? I'm like, it's not gonna be Jacob. They're not gonna do another white dude. Not happening.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting. You can definitely tell just by the way that they act, the way that they give testimonials. I really feel like you can really tell who's in it to win it and who is absolutely not the mole.
Yeah.
I feel like it's easier to tell who is absolutely not the mole.
I mean,
than it is to tell who is
William from the jump. I was like, no way.
Yeah, no fucking way. Dom too. Dom, no way.
We don't have a lot of time left. If you skip forward 5 minutes, I apologize. I meant 8, and then I said the wrong thing. We got like minute 15 left here.
Anyway, and then Chris did some research.
First, I have a question for you. Who do you want to win?
William, 100%.
Me too. And if it's not him, I want Avery. And then if it's not her, I want Jacob. And then I want Joy.
Then I want Joy. Fuck Joy. Fuck Joy.
So when they finish the season, they go back and they're like, here's the clues we left for you. I'm really glad I did it. It was a lot of fun to find these clues. However, I'm never going to look for them again until it's the end of the season again like this, because I actually found some. I actually found some fucking clues. I was writing down in the notes, like anytime I saw something that stuck out. For instance, like the plane had this code on it.
Yeah, they focused on that code on the plane a lot.
I wrote down the code on the fucking boat, on the train, on license plates, on the C4, and I was only able to make heads and tails of 2 things. not the code on the plane. That was gibberish to me. If it means something, it is way more
It could
obtuse
eventually.
than I think.
Yeah.
But the fucking Columbia flag that's right next to the code on the plane, and Kazi went to Columbia, and the C4 is her zip code of her hometown, and we're at 8 minutes. So now that I know who it is for sure, because my brother happens to work at the same location of this person, and he checked the directory of his workplace, and they don't exist apparently. Which is like a really funny thing to do. I think that's like, so like I'm like going too deep now.
Too deep.
But yeah, I think finding those clues is fun. Don't I think use the internet. I bet Reddit figured it out on like day one.
Had to
probably.
I didn't look, but they had to have.
It almost actually, because I was able to solve it, Alex, like because of those clues, part of me almost wishes that they didn't do it or made them really, really obtuse.
Yeah.
Like it was very satisfying to find one, but yeah, I mean, you got to make it like nuts now, I think, because of the internet age.
Because of the internet.
Like you should have like a team of like puzzle makers coming up with these fucking clues.
Yeah, I will say this too. I appreciate the fact that they didn't just dump the season in one go.
Oh,
but I also wish that they stretched it out more than 3 weeks.
Yeah,
really 2 weeks.
It should be at least a month. I
agree. I think it should be at least 5 weeks, 6 weeks even. I think it would keep it in my consciousness more. I would have more discussions with you. I would have more discussions with other people who are watching it and being like, look, like we're not going to go on Reddit, but let's have a discussion.
The Circle made adjustments with their release schedule. I think we might see that with this.
This is what I wanted to say as well to anyone. I am
just don't say anything about who we think the mole is.
Yeah, I am surprised about how good the show is. Like I was expecting it to be hot garbage.
Alex, if it was 50% of the original show, I would have been happy. That was my expectation. I'm like, if this is if I watch 40-minute episodes and I get 20 minutes of content that I'm happy with, I will be happy because I never thought I would get it again anyway. So the fact that it's like beginning to end the same, there's only one actual change I think it needs. And it's not just the release schedule, which I agree with you, but they are giving us very, very little downtime scenes. And there's only a couple episodes that have had them at all, and I really appreciated them, like watching like the people have conversations about things.
Yeah.
Because that was always part of the game, was watching people lie to each other about stuff, watching people try to like give people bad information, like,
more conversation.
Take someone's notebook, like like they didn't do like any of these. Everything has been a game, start to finish. Yeah. And that's good, but the episodes are like under 40 minutes, and they could kick these, like just give me add 10 minutes, even add 5 minutes, add an extra 5 minutes each episode in between games or traveling to like. Where they're at dinner.
I would also like a few more games per episode.
Well, that was something games. That was part of that, right? In the original was they would have like, we're all having dinner and like there's like a mini game at the dinner table. Game. But most of the time it's not about that, like So that's my only critique, and that's such a small critique that I'm like, fine.
Also, I feel like with the older seasons, with the 2 older seasons that were on, you got more personal information about people and more conversations with people at dinner being like, I have a couple kids, I got to do this, I do that kind of stuff. And then like more testimonials about the person, like their evaluation of the person in general, not just how they did on the task, which they might even have. It's just they didn't put it in the episode.
I think they shouldn't use the so they do this like website quiz thing. I don't think they should have those because I think people are going to be able to like figure out who it is based on that. And I think it's actually smart that they don't show the whole quiz, because I bet you there are ways to, through like people breaking them down, because you have groups of people now, because they only show us some of the questions. They don't show us every single question anymore.
They used to tell us every question.
I know, but I think they don't because of the internet now, because I bet you there are enough questions that you can ask. You're like, oh, look at all the questions that they ask. They always have one of these people. In the past, there wasn't like a group of thousands of people that would compare and contrast who was on every team doing what. And then you could compare the questions between each episode. And I think that's why they do it, because you could take probably 3 episodes worth of questions and figure out who it is. Because you're like, oh, well, only one person could fulfill every single one of these questions. Like,
Yeah.
because when it's like, was the mole on this team?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yes, or like, did
Yep.
the mole was doing, so it's, that's actually like the smart thing that they've done. It's great. I'm so happy it's back. Uh, we got fucking Love is Blind starting next week. So
No, it's not. Is it
yes, it
really?
is. Love is Blind comes back
Oh
next
my
week, baby.
God.
So
Again with this fucking show.
you know
This show
what,
might have a worse track record than fucking Bachelor. This is
man,
so
it's
bad.
so good. That's what I love about it. It's a trait
It's
like The
so
Bachelor. I can't do.
bad.
It's too long, man. Like for me to watch a show like The Bachelor, it should be like a Netflix show. It should be like 13 episodes, 3 weeks, and I'm done. Like I need to just be able to consume it and it not be too long for fucking like dating shit. I don't want to get very invested, and I want it to be an absolute train wreck. I'm very excited about Love is Blind coming back, especially because I'm gonna be like post mole bummed. I'm gonna have the post mole blues. Because who knows? Who knows if we're getting it again? I have seen a lot of people on the internet are all like, fucking mole. People are excited about the mall. So if you're not listening, go fucking listen to the mall. It's one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Like, quite frankly, until you turned me on to Taskmaster, I would have still said that it was like my favorite, like unscripted, like game show TV show ever. Like still to this day, I now actually would put Taskmaster above it. I would put them all at number 2. And by the way, there is this season of Taskmaster, Alex Horn. I don't know what he's on right now.
Yeah,
but he's doing some like real Christian Humes ass fucking crazy like fuck you tasks this season of Taskmaster. And one of them is straight up like the mole. There's like a mole ass task this season.
That's awesome.
And he does a fucking game buster, basically. Like there's like a game buster like task, which is like kind of like obtuse pun based like homonym stuff. I was like, oh, I'm like, I just need to move to the UK and go fucking work on Taskmaster.
To the UK, work on Taskmaster. Speaking of,
how about that for a transition?
Good.
I don't have a job. That's not true. I actually still work at FS1. I never left that job. Do you remember like one of the first weeks I was working at G4 and Tom was like, yeah, burning the candles. I mean, and he like, because I wasn't necessarily trying to put it out there. It was more for like G4. I don't know if they would be annoyed about it.
Sure.
But when I started, I was kind of like, well, it's a contract job. I'm only guaranteed for like the contract was only up to a year. And then like after that, like, it's kind of like you either have to go full time or not. So I was like, I'm going to try and keep this throughout that. And I actually renegotiated. So I basically just work for FS1 on the weekends, which is great. And it's also good for me because I no longer have a job at G4 because no one has a job at G4.
G4 does not exist.
So Sunday. Matt and his lovely wife, Katie, had invited Teresa and I down to go see her play. She was in a play called Desert Stories for Lost Girls. Katie's a Native American, and it's a very serious play about like generational trauma in women and Native American women. So it's like very serious play. And but beforehand, Matt was like, let's go downtown, get some drinks, because that's where the play is. So it wasn't the same one we went to, but we went to one of the like rooftop bars downtown. Remember, like when we went to E3, we went to that bar up on the roof. Yep. So we went to like one of those. Chris Bermonte was with us. You remember Chris and John Murphy? You've met both of these guys. So they were with us. And so a funny thing that happened at G4 is they announced they were going to do podcasts, and I was actually talking with the head of programming about developing some podcasts. One that I was hopefully going to host.
I remember. Yeah,
and Matt was also was possibly talking about doing some things. And I was talking to Matt like, Matt, we should just start some other thing if like G4 doesn't fucking move any faster. And then I was like, it's like, who knows if they'll even be around in a month? Because about a month ago, when all those layoffs happened, basically every day the inside joke at everyone in the office is like, someone would be like, oh, this is so much fun. And I'm just like, for now, like we'd always be like, hey, for now, like that's a good job for now, because every day basically felt like borrowed time. And I'll say everyone kind of like, at least me and some of the people I was with, were having a lot more fun than maybe we should have been having on the daily, because it was kind of like, if you want to do something, better do it now, because who knows if you're gonna have the chance. It's like sort of how we all felt about it, which is part of why we were like extra fucking around at work all the time. Like when we got that big bear suit that we used in so for TwitchCon, we got this 8-foot bear, and then we put someone in it. We didn't like, we cut it open so we could put someone in it, and then we were like, how much did this bear cost? And then the bear started fucking like moving around. They didn't know that was gonna happen. To test it, like I got in it and I was walking around in it at work, and then Matt got in it. We were all just getting in the fucking bear, and then we went into like an office and used like a strobe light and filmed just like some Five Nights at Freddy's shit, where like Matt like turns, looks at the bear, looks away, and then comes back, and then I'm like running at him in the bear suit and choking him because we're just fucking around. It was a good time. So for that reason, we were like, might not happen. Matt goes to get a drink. I open Twitter. Wario64 has told me I no longer have a job. Weird way to find out that you don't have a job.
That is a weird way.
64.
Yeah. So what? So okay. So what happens? So you open up Twitter. What happens then?
Well, first I comment. I'm like, what fucking email in the Deadline article? Because Deadline's like, this is the email that went out. But which, by the way, the email that the Deadline article has was definitely leaked by someone internally to make them look good, because it's not the email that they sent out to people. The email that was sent out to people does not have anything about like, we're sending out references, and like it's like about like how there's opportunities at NBC Universal for like all these staff, and that like they would be that actually does not exist, and they have not done that. That was to make them look good. I'm not trying to call G4 out here, but I'm going to call out the motherfuckers at Comcast that are making themselves look good, because that did not go out to anyone. No one was reached out about that. So that's number one. Number two, I didn't get an email. I didn't get it. I never got an email. I never got that email. Don't have an email. So eventually on Monday night, we had like a get together. We like there were like 50 of us from G4 at this bar. We had like a get together, like a going away, like get together. We did like some speeches. There was some chat. It was like good. Like we took it over. I was at the bar from like 6 to midnight. It was a good time. But while I was there, like, cause I emailed like the president, I emailed like the HR people, and they were just like, you still never sent me an email. And the guy was like, all the information's on that. I was like, you didn't get me one. And then eventually they was like, oh, I'm so sorry. You were supposed to be on that list. Were not. And then so I was like, okay, I now know do not work at G4.
Okay.
Which is why I had a very popular tweet where I'm like, so everyone else seems to have gotten fired. As far as I'm aware, I'm still going to work. So I'm now the president of G4.
G4, perfect.
So yeah, it was weird because Matt's going to get a drink, and I found out before he knew, and I just look at Therese and John, and I'm like, so do I have to? Do I tell him?
Tell him to go.
Do I just tell him to look at his phone? Do I tell him he is fired? Thank God he opened his phone while he was over there. I think someone texted him and was like,
right.
And so he just comes over and he goes, have you been on the internet? And I was like, thank God. I was like, yes, I have. And I was really lucky that I was with Matt, because I will say, after that, I have been like kind of like upset and bummed about it. But on the day it happened, and then the following day where I was hanging out with everyone,
right,
like spirits were high.
Right.
Like there were a lot of people that were upset, which we should be, but spirits were high because like everyone like kind of got together. Because like if you have a lot of people going through the same thing, it's a lot easier.
How many people worked at G4?
Like at that point, like well over 150, I think. So a lot of people lost their jobs. So, so I was very lucky. I was with Matt when we found out, because we were just like, all right, let's go out. Let's have a good time. Like we're making jokes. Like he took a picture of us, and I was like, Matt, you should just write like, here we are, G4 employees, resumes in hand, like need a producer, like, just having a good joke, having a laugh.
Sure.
Have a laugh. But then I go into this play 20 minutes later. That's supposed to be like really serious.
Right.
And I'm like, talk about an impossible pivot for your headspace. I definitely spent the first 30 minutes just being like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? And then I didn't know what was happening, and I had to try to like figure it out and catch up at the play. Not a great night, but it was still nice. It was good to be out with everybody. I saw a bunch of people I didn't see in a long time, which was nice. From the show, Abby Trott, which a lot of people probably know. She's a voice actress in a ton of anime. Demon Slayer is probably the one people most know her from. So that was cool to go and see a bunch of people. But then Monday we all got together. That was awesome. Everyone is like, helping each other out, references, connections, great. I have some other projects that I've already been working on the side anyway. So I'm not necessarily looking for a new job at the moment. I'm going to look around, like if the right opportunity comes across, but I'm fortunate I have like other opportunities sort of already presented themselves. So I'm actually going to just use this time to take care of some personal projects, get like streaming set up for the podcast, like do some podcast stuff, like just have a little fun and a breather for a minute. Because I will say that was like the most fun job I've ever had. Like it was weird. It was like I would get up and be excited to go to work every day, like to go to the office. Because when we were there, it was literally like they hired, like it was almost everyone that was there was just like a creative person. Everyone was just like made shit. Everyone just fucked around. Everyone played video games. Like, so it was like a very fun environment to be in. So that's the thing I'm most disappointed of about it. And it's a bummer. There's also a lot, like if you're trying to read like what happened to G4, you're not going to get a real answer online. A lot of us kind of don't really want to go into details from what we know. And even amongst what we know, no one has the real story, because there are things like some of the talent costs this much, and then like none of those numbers are even accurate or true. I know for a fact, because I know how much our show costs like per episode, and like some of those numbers that were floated around were like more than our daily budget for like an episode. So I'm like, yeah, that's impossible. And they were like, also some of them were like being like, oh, well, like name your price Austin show is like super like expensive. Look at all the talent we had. And I'm like, yeah, that's actually not how those deals worked. But that's fine, whatever. Like, you know, these things don't have conjecture, but it was partially because like a lot of media places and video game media, like we're never covering anything unless it was negative. So we're like, yeah, fuck you guys. We're not going to give you clicks because you didn't ever like highlight whenever we were achieving anything. So like, you know, which like, I think that's fair. It's like, if you're only going to like highlight when like people fail, then like, don't expect them to be cooperative with you. Because like, for instance, my show, Name Your Price, we were the premiere show of TwitchCon. Like we had over like 100,000 live viewers. Like that is massive on Twitch. That is like peak Twitch views. Very little written up about it, unless there were places writing about TwitchCon, you know? So it's just kind of one of those like, There's one thing I'm really bummed we never got to do. This week, we had a game that was really like, it was something that we've pitched over and over in like different formats, and we finally got it through. But it was going to be the best game we had ever come up with. It was like a Blockbuster VHS store. We're building like one of those like, you know, racks with shelves to have the tapes on. We got enough cassette boxes. We got the ones that are boxes with so you could put the inserts for the artwork on them instead of getting actual VHS tape like originals. Right. Because the game was there were going to be 16 VHSs. Half of them were real. Half of them were fake. A lot of them were like these B, C movies from, you know, the 70s forward. So like there are like a lot of like old B movies, like horror, fantasy, suspense, like one or two comedies. And then 8 of them were completely fake. And I was like photoshopping them, making them look very real. And that was part of why we're doing the inserts, because then they all look the same. You know, it's not like, oh, well, that's very clearly a real box, and that's very really clearly one you taped together or some bullshit. Very basic game, very binary. But then I elevated it because there's this amazing website where you can buy stuff from the government, because there are a lot of like schools and businesses that are government operated, and whenever they liquidate things, let's say we've updated all the computers at this business, we've updated all the TVs, what happens to all the old stuff? They auction it. They auction lots of things, and you get things for extremely cheap. So we got some CRTs. We got one that had a VHS player inside that worked. And then I went through and I got all the actual like clips of the titles of the real movies and hooked it up. We got like a thing set up so that I could hook up my computer like through HDMI to the TV's input and record the titles to all the real movies. And then I was making these animations for the fake movies. So we'd have recorded on the VHSs. So the player would pick a VHS, guess if it was real or fake. We'd open it up. There'd be a real tape inside. We'd put it in the VHS. And like to see if it was real or not, it would either play the title screen from the real movie, or it would be like this, like the back, and to like double fake them out, I would like, one of them was Dr. Evil, like the evil professor or something. It was the title of the fake one, right? So I got this, I made this like fake evil like lab black and white on the background. So at first you're thinking, oh, this is real, but then like the title comes up, like it's one of those sort of like monster wipes, and it's just like fake movie, incorrect. Is like what pops up on there. It would have been like a magic trick. It would have been amazing. That's so bummed we didn't get to do that game.
I'm sorry.
Very bummed.
It sounds very your type of game.
Yes. I mean, it would have been fun. Everyone would have had a good time with that. Like imagine like getting to walk up to the shelf, look at all the VHSs, pick it out, put it in the TV. That is, I will say, the one thing that we didn't get to do. And it was supposed to be today. Like we would have done that today. Would have been the day. So that's like my biggest, like, I wish we hadn't done it. But for me, I'm in a position of like, I was very much aware of the odds of something like G4 surviving. I think we could have. And considering the original plan was like, hey, G4 won't be profitable for 3 to 5 years. This is something that was parroted by the president and everything like that. They were like, it's a startup. We understand like, hey, like budgets will be tight for like several years because of that. Comcast was like, yeah, actually, we're probably in like a recession. So see you later. That's like my best guess. We'll never know, Well,
you may know one day.
I don't think we will. I think there were too many people that are clearly weren't getting true communications because they were literally about to sign new talent the next day.
Right.
So like, why would like that has to be approved by like the highest person at G4. So it's someone above because G4 was run by Spectacor, not by Comcast. It was like a subsidiary. Someone at Papa Comcast was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. And that's where because they were also apparently trying to buy Funhouse. They were also trying to sign these, all those things didn't happen, but you wouldn't have like lawyers and people working on these things, like extending offers to people if like the plan was to shut down. So like, it's just very weird. I actually saw Golden Boy at the bar. He was very nice. I got to like chat and hang with him. And he was like telling me, he was like, yeah, it's really weird. I thought I was going to be signing with G4 like tomorrow. He said as much on his Twitter. So I'm not like saying anything that, we don't know. It was weird. It was a weird day. I've also never been fired, I realize. Right? I guess I wasn't fired. We were all let go.
You were let go. You weren't fired.
We all got severance, which now I found out it's not necessarily because they were like being nice. It's because of the Warren Act, which I didn't know anything about. Do you know about this?
No, tell me.
So the Warren Act, I'm not going to pretend to know the ins and outs of the legal jargon here. I'm going to give you
give me the 2-sentence overview.
If your company's got over like 100 people, and you have to do mass layoffs, you need 60 days notice. If you don't, you got to provide 60 days of pay.
Then that makes total sense.
Yeah, I'm set through the new year. I still have my FS1, so I'm fine. So I've gotten a lot of messages from people reaching out, just like the last time when everyone thought I was fired. I wasn't. This time I was.
This time you were. Yeah.
This time I did not survive G4. But yeah, I'm glad I got to be a part of it. Like it is like a kind of like I got to make a TV show. I got to make a stupid comedy game show. I got to make a stupid advice show. Yeah. My resume is much stronger than it was 4 months ago, basically now, like as a TV producer, but it was a little too short. I wish I had been there longer,
Yep.
But there it is.
And that's the way it was.
Speaking of news, Rooster Teeth. Ooh. Also, Rooster Teeth, that whole thing got even more complicated. So I don't even want to go into the ins and outs of it.
I didn't even want to read into it anymore because I saw a video of Kaden.
So Alex was right. We are a truncated show.
Because Chris's mic got fucked up.
That's what Alex wants you to think. I'm only switching microphones for show. I brought up Rooster Teeth and Alex started defending everyone and then went on this like profanity just laden, just like dropping all these different letter bombs left. No,
Unbelievable.
Okay, we don't need to talk about that because like what the fuck
Rooster Teeth sucks. All that we said was that we both were Rooster Teeth content viewers from like 2010 to 2013. Done.
Yeah, when we were younger. I also didn't watch their stuff. I listened to their podcast.
Sorry, he listened. You consumed their content. How about that?
I mean, we only talked about it for about 45 seconds before I realized that my microphone wasn't working and it switched to the other one. And then I couldn't hear you. So,
fuck it.
Now you're right. Now it is a truncated episode.
Now it is. Fuck Rooster Teeth. Fuck.
Fuckity fuck. All right.
What do you got?
So I got a message. I don't know about other gaming news. I'll be honest with you. I didn't.
Dude, we
I
don't have
didn't.
we don't have time. We don't have
Yeah,
time.
but
We don't have
also
time.
like you know, I had a week. I wasn't paying attention to gaming.
Right. This is your week. So truncated / we're running out of time. The producers are telling us to wrap up.
All right, we're gonna do a quick mail. Oh yeah. We don't even like we're doing a game. But we're gonna just get mail. 805-738-8692. Or go to the send us a mail, send us some love. Let's do it. We're gonna do a quick weird game. Sorry about it being short this week, but we'll make up for it. Don't you worry.
Will we?
Yeah, we'll do something. We're gonna do something fun.
All right.
We haven't done like a thing in a while. We should do a thing.
Okay.
All right, we'll do a thing. We'll figure out what that thing is, and then we'll do it.
I mean, we should do some things. I did like a whole D&D production that was like Back to the Future.
Yeah. I think while I'm going to take a little bit of sabbatical, basically, I think we should do a thing. We have a bonus episode we still need to do, which we have been desperately trying to coordinate with each other. We all have very different schedules, so it is not easy. But aside from that, we will do a different thing to make up for late episode last week, which hasn't happened in like years.
Yeah.
And this one not being able to stream, so that we'll get there. Alex, you said you had an idea for a game. I found all of the old soundboard files finally, by the way. Now we have all the alternates again for stuff, which is fun. Well, what are we doing?
What we're playing Alex Asks.
How do we play Alex Asks?
I ask a question and you try to answer it.
All right. Oh, are there rules to this? Are there points?
We'll see as we go along.
Well, all right.
Ready? Here we go. What is the first girl's name that comes to mind? Go. Taking you this long?
Avery from the mall.
Oh, how do you spell that?
Avori, like Avori.
Okay. Avori.
Yeah, not Averi.
Avori.
Avori.
What was the first video game to be played in space?
If I had to guess, I'm gonna say Space Invaders.
No, in 1993, a Russian astronaut played Tetris on his Game Boy on his way to the MIR space station during rare astronaut downtime. Speaking of space, when did Apollo 13 come out?
The movie?
Yes. No, the ship. Quick.
Oh, I didn't know it was lightning round. 1992.
Oh. What? No, it is 1995.
Damn it.
It's a space docudrama. Speaking of...
It's a great movie.
Speaking of Tom Hanks movies, when did Lady Killers come out?
I've never even seen that. What is it? Why'd you pick this movie?
It's just the first thing that came to my mind. Lady Killers was a blank year black comedy crime thriller film directed by Joel and Ethan Coen. It was based on the 1955 British Ealing comedy film of the same name, written by William Rose. Anyway,
2002.
2004.
Oh,
this was, I think, I feel, in my opinion, was the beginning of the end of Tom Hanks being the dominant force and the rise of Leonardo DiCaprio becoming the dominant force in movies.
Sorry, I didn't realize I forgot. I was pointing at the wrong. I haven't used this old microphone in a long time, so I was talking to the wrong side of it.
Oh, beautiful. Speaking of lady killers, what colors can a ladybug come in?
Okay. So red and black.
Well, yeah, the black dots. Yeah.
So okay, so red. I want to say white.
That's wrong.
Okay, I want to say like a yellow.
Yes.
Green.
No. Orange.
Orange. Oh, okay.
Speaking of colors, what are the colors of the rainbow?
Roy G. Biv.
They are
red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet.
That
Indigo.
violet is not
Green,
in the
blue, indigo, violet.
Okay, thank you. Oh boy. Oh boy. What speaking of Go, when did Pokemon Go come out?
2016
I
summer.
believe that's correct. I'm just Googling really
I know
quick.
it is just because it was the year that the podcast came out.
Oh, okay. Speaking of video games, roughly how many people play Roblox each month?
Unique users, not like like in a single day.
Dude, this is a very I can't give you that kind of
Okay.
specificity.
228 million.
I mean, I would say you're close, even though you're far away. I would say you're close.
Okay.
It's 150 million.
Okay, yeah, I'm
players
off, but yeah,
you're off. But I would
they would
still
love it.
say,
oh, I did just remember there was one piece of news.
Well, fuck it. Who was the youngest esports millionaire, and how old were they when they won the game they won?
The youngest esports millionaires probably 15. Oh, wait. Right now, wait, I'm sorry. Can you ask that question again? Because it sounded like two questions, but I only
Who
understood
was
it
the
as
youngest esports millionaire? Who was he?
Who?
And how
All right,
old were
fine.
they when they won?
Okay. Michael, go fuck yourself, and he was 15.
You're correct. He was he was 15. But his name was Jaden Ashman for playing Fortnite World Cup. Speaking of Jaden, what is Jaden Christopher Sire Smith, also known mononymously as Jaden? What is his occupation?
Son of Will Smith.
No,
No,
the correct answer.
I'm gonna guess he is an assassin in the Yakuza series.
He is a martial artist.
Wait, this is just a random person now? Are you on Wikipedia and you're just clicking one link to the next?
This is Jaden Smith. This is Will Smith's son.
Oh, I was right?
Well, maybe. Yeah. But how old is he now? Jaden Smith. He was in The Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah. Pursuit of Happiness came out in like 2007. Could be 2008. I'm going to guess 2008. He looked like he was like 6 years old in that, 6 to 8. So 23.
He's 24 now.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Speaking of age, how old is John Williams, the composer?
Oh,
the movie composer.
Okay, so he's pretty old. I believe he just turned 90.
He did just turn 90. He did.
Because I've seen he does his shows here every summer. I didn't get to go this year. But
according as a composer, what is John Williams' first credit on IMDb as a composer?
Jaws.
Playhouse 90, a TV series. So we will give it to you if we go to something that isn't TV. And the first non-TV series that I know is what the fuck is all this? I mean, there's a lot of other things, but the first movie that I know that I see that is The Cowboys.
Wow, that was painful. The listeners love that. That was great.
Speaking of Cowboys, what is the Cowboys record this season?
Four and two.
That is correct.
Okay,
they are 4-2.
I mean, I pay attention to sports now. I've been working in it for too long. I've been working in sports for like 3 years. Yeah, fantasy football.
Speaking of Dallas, what is the name of a very famous porn movie involving the name Dallas? Am I wrong?
Everything's bigger in Dallas.
I think it's Debbie Does Dallas, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Speaking of Debbie,
I feel like that was a good guess on my part, though,
yeah,
because everything's bigger in Texas.
Sure. Speaking of Debbie, Little Debbie is a snack.
Yep.
Oh, what kind of snack is it?
It's a pastry. No, is that a pastry? It's a confectionery. Is that it's a baked good?
I think Little Debbie actually has a bunch of snacks. Anyway, so Chris, how are you feeling today?
I'm all right.
Okay. How many hours was the longest Mario Kart marathon according to the Guinness Book of World Records?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna guess it was 52 hours.
Close, 40 hours.
Okay.
Wow,
I couldn't even make it 2 whole days. Fucking chumps.
no. How much was the highest grand prize in an esports event?
Yo, I feel like we could beat that.
I know.
Okay, here we go. Unranked breaks a Guinness World Record for the longest Mario Kart marathon.
Sure.
We would need to crowdfund it because it costs about $10,000. Because you have to pay. You have to pay for someone from Guinness to come and watch the whole thing, and it costs It costs about $10,000.
I gotta pay Guinness to get in the
First,
book.
you have to pay a bunch of money to apply to break the record, and you have to wait. It takes them a while. You can pay like a small fee and like hear back from them in 6 months, or you could pay like an exorbitant fee, like by like tenfold, and they'll get back to you sooner. But then then it costs like 10 grand after that. It costs a lot of money to get into Guinness. However, if we could crowdfund this, Tuna, I think we could break the Mario Kart world record, which I've always wanted to do because of that Hey Arnold episode. I've always wanted to.
I know.
So
world records.
We'll talk about this. You know, I said we're gonna do a thing.
Yeah.
Unranked. Imagine, Alex, if the Unranked podcast was in the Guinness Book of World Records.
That would be insane. Absolutely insane.
This is my new goal.
All right. Who created the Mario franchise?
Iwata?
Miyamoto.
Oh my god, yes. Why did I say the wrong person?
I don't know. What is the name?
What is the name? What? There's just what is the name? Why are you not speaking? Why are you just giving me like facial reactions? All right, Alex Marinello.
And who?
Dan Ween.
How?
With a dildo.
Thank you. That's all the time we have for you tonight. That is the game Alex Asks. Thanks for playing, and we'll see you never again.
That was not the best effort we've put. This is kind of how I feel about on Sunday. So we didn't want to do a show last week, like the week after TwitchCon, because we had no weekend because we were still working all weekend, and then we came back and had 4 days to put another show together, and it was the weakest show we've ever had for that reason, because it's like we had 4 days to make a whole fucking episode. Sure. We were all like, we should have just had that day off, and then after we got fired, it was like, we should have just not had it. Go out with a bang. Fucking TwitchCon would have been the big show, and that would be it. Would have been way better. That's how I feel about what game we just played.
Well, thanks everyone for listening. I'm Tuna Targaryen everywhere. I wish I could say that, but there's a space at the Xbox One. Chris, play us out.
I'm Christian_Humes. You can find me at Christian_Humes. I mean, my name's Christian Humes, not Christian_Humes. I'm sure you understand that by now. We're the Unranked Podcast. Our goal now is not to make it to the end of the Pokemon series, but to break a Guinness Book of World Records for the longest Mario Kart marathon. Well, 40 hours is fucking nothing. 40 hours we can do. Tuna, we'll get an Airbnb somewhere. The 4 of us, 40-hour Mario Kart marathon, a 41-hour Mario Kart marathon. It's going to be the plan. Let's fucking do it. Let's figure it out. Let's get in the book. That'll be our legacy. There's a lot of cool folks from G4. Go check them out on Twitter. This is the extended song. I haven't listened to it in a while, but it's pretty dope, right? It's pretty good. It's fucking bang.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. Hit us up. Tell us how you're doing. Thanks for listening to us. But until next time, everybody, I want you all to just stay unranked.
In the name of suck it.